In this video, we're going to count down the top 20 road signs that you need to know to pass your driving theory test. So the first thing to note is that most road signs are obvious. So if you look at this slide, there's no road sign on here that you're going to have any particular difficulty with. If you are, maybe you're too stupid to drive. All right. These are incredibly simple. Most road signs you can work out with no trouble. One rule that will help you work out even more is to notice that if you have a triangle with a red border, that's a warning. If you have a circle with a red border, that's an order. So you look at what's inside that, you look at the shape, and you can usually work out what it is. So the first one's, of course, warning you've got slippy roads, and the other one is an order saying no vehicles with explosives, which seems like a sensible rule. However, some signs are not so obvious. So these are 20 signs that you need to memorize because you're going to have difficulty working these out. So first one, national speed limit applies. You've got the national speed limit. See that? You're going at the national speed limit. Next one, some people confused about this one. So you've got 30 miles in a blue, not a red sign. This means that you've got 30-mile-an-hour minimum speed. The next one is the end of the minimum speed. And so whenever you see a red line crossing out something, that typically means end of. So you could read that as end of, and that helps you work it out. So likewise, you've got end of controlled parking, same style, not a red line, but similar idea. So you used to have parking restrictions. Now, after that sign, the parking restrictions are no longer applying. Again, similarly, we've got the red line across what looks like a motorway. If you see it once, you should always see it. You've got a bridge, and then you've got the motorway running underneath that bridge, and you've got the end of line. So clearly, end of motorway makes nice sense. Keep left. Some people struggle with this because it's not a left, it's not a right, and you're like, why is it pointing down? That means keep left, so stay into the left lane. All right, next one. You've got no waiting and no stopping. One way that helps you remember this is you've got a red line once on no waiting. That's a little bit less strict than absolutely no stopping. So for the stricter one, you've got 2 lines. For the less strict, no waiting, you've only got 1 line. So if you link those two together, that helps. And number 9, we've got no through road. So you've got what looks like a normal road, and then you've got red warning you there's nothing else after that. So if you go along that road, you're not going to keep going. You're stuck and have to turn around. Number 10, we've got the 2 level crossings making up 10 and 11. So the level crossing without barrier is nice and easy to remember. It's just a cross. So if you recognize that as a level crossing, the cross tells you the without. On the other one, you've got the warning sign, and it's a level crossing. So you can see the train tracks, and it also looks a bit like a barrier. So it looks like a fence. So you've got the train tracks and the fence, put that all together, level crossing with barrier, and you remember the cross meaning without. And so those two should be nice and easy to remember. Going on to number 12, you've got may pass either side. This is one of the worst road signs for people getting wrong on theory tests. That simply means that usually on a one-way street that you can get to your destination by going either side of that sign. At number 13, we've got the CONTRAFLOW bus lane, another one that's done very poorly. This simply means that the bus lane and the traffic are moving in opposite directions. That's what CONTRAFLOW means. It's like the bus is contradicting the traffic. So you can use that word to help you. This is similar to the last one. We've got the with flow cycle lane. So that means that instead of the CONTRAFLOW, it's actually flowing in the same direction. So the bicycles and the cars are going in the same direction in that lane. Next one, this is actually very poorly done. 2-way traffic crosses a 1-way road. Perhaps you're looking at this slide and going, I don't really see what that means. So let's draw it out. So you've got 2 1-way streets, and then you've got a 2-way street crossing over that. So that's what that sign is warning you of. Similarly, you've got 2-way traffic ahead. So say you were going along a 1-way street, and then you came across a 2-way road in front of you. That is what that sign is warning you to anticipate. Moving on to number 17, we've got the diversion route sign. This one's also poorly done. Typically, if you see this bright yellow background, you should start to think about diversions and roadworks, because that's usually, not always, where that sort of style is associated with. Coming in at number 18 and 19, we've got the 2 ahead only and 1-way signs that are very easily confused. So the ahead only is the circle, and the 1-way is the square. So it's good if you remember one. Typically, the 1-way sign you'll see more often. So if you recognize that as the one-way sign, and then if you see it in a circle, it's not one way, it's ahead only. And finishing off our list at number 20, you've got side winds. This one's always confused me because I think of it as an airport or something to do with flying. It's just telling you that there's very large side winds. So hopefully if you work through this video maybe once or twice, memorize all these 20, and what you're left with is a lot of signs that are generally very obvious and you can work out no problem. Hopefully this helps you, and best luck for your theory test. Thank you for watching.